Sunday afternoon down here at P Island, and it's been a little while since I've made a video, and we got a couple that I haven't uploaded, but I felt like I needed to make one. And there's so many things. One thing I'm doing right now is over the last few years, my eyesight has been getting a little bit better because I've been trying to work on getting it better, and I've made some other videos on that. But if an older person can improve their eyesight, which is not just, it's actually important, because as our eyes, if we let our eyes keep getting worse, it actually has long-term correlation with other really bad eye disease. So don't take for granted good eyesight. We just have this modern era of electronic devices and TV. It's just become accepted, that people can wear glasses, and that's the end of it. But there's so much science behind, despite what a lot of people said, in the general field of like optometry, where they basically just go get a pair of glasses. But so there is a lot you can do to help improve your eyesight. And when you're young, if an old person can do it, a young person whose body heals faster or adjusts better can really help do a lot to keep their eyes strong. So it's important. There's something that you can do with red lights, and you can look this up and study it. And I think even a person who doesn't wear glasses, because we have so much stress on our eyes with up close work and electronic devices, that even if you don't have prescription glasses, you should still be doing exercises for your eyes. One basic exercise is just to go outdoors without by taking your glasses off if you wear glasses, or if not, just getting a certain amount of light. Now, not directly looking into the sun, but outdoor light into your eyes every day. And then also focusing on far objects and near objects, and also looking at, you can make your eyes see the large vision range and the small range. So it's like when you look straight ahead, you can let yourself see out far, and then you can focus in, and you can do that back and forth, and it's kind of like repetitions for your eyes, like if you're lifting weights, but it's just your eyes, just working your eyes. But then there's also now some really good research behind red light therapy for your eyes, and then actually in Europe, and I think maybe in Japan, that's actually something that's been studied so much that now it's a approved therapy for people with macular degeneration. So it doesn't just mean it helps people with macular degeneration, but there's been a lot of studies now also done to show that it can help. Probably help everybody, but the studies have been specifically done on children, that it can help children with preventing or slowing myopia, which is when you typically have to wear glasses for most people, meaning that your eyes have adjusted because of all the up close work that we do, to being able to see things up close but not being able to focus on things far away. So you can adjust that. Your eyes are not stagnant, and then this gets into a lot of things with, if you can train your eyes, or you can train your body to do something, you're also teaching your mind to train itself. So it all ties together. It's really important. Just like your breathing, it's very important. You can train your breathing, and you can, especially, again, that's a modern thing where it's more of an issue, but people don't learn to really breathe through their nose, which is extremely important, because there's all kinds of things that happen when we breathe through our nose properly. It affects the way we sleep. It affects nitric oxide production. It affects the way that our immune system, because of a clear nose and strong nasal passages, which there's muscles anywhere that something moves, there's muscles. So there's muscles and endothelial cells that cover the inside of our nasal passages, and so we need to strengthen that, and that helps a lot with sickness and immune health. So all these things tie together. There's just tons of these things, but taking care of your body is extremely important. But all this, what I'm doing with my eyes, I can tell you can't get your eyes. My eyes are still bad, but they're better than they were, and I can say that without any question. My eyes are much better than they were just a few years ago. So there are things that you can do, and Those are very important. And another thing is when we take control of our body and our health. Look at this beautiful, isn't it so beautiful? This is I've been sitting here and focusing out there, with my eyes. But in the same time I'm doing that, I'm getting all these other benefits. It's a time to, just relax the mind and to work on mindfulness and to think about things and positive things. So important to work on training your brain to be positive and training yourself to be yourself and to be present in the moment, to recognize that you are here, and to separate that from the fact that there's a future and we need to make plans for the future, and then there's a past, and we can think about lessons from the past, but we also have to be able to bring ourselves to the present. And that's another thing where media and modern technology, it's always distracting us from being in the present moment. It's very hard unless it's something designed to help guide you, to do mindfulness or whatever. You're being brought into another realm or another world. So we're being pulled in all these different directions, both with our health, but also with our development of our mind. And so we have to try to take the good and recognize the bad and then correct for the bad. So we got to put work in one way or the other. If we were lived in a time where there wasn't any of these things, where there would be the communication and knowledge flow wouldn't be as great as it is today. But we would have better eyes, and we'd probably be mentally more stable than a lot of the population has as a whole been. I mean, because of so many of these things and just an overwhelming amount of things coming at us about the world around us. It's more than our minds are really designed to have to take on any given day. So we have to come back. We have to work on our health. And in doing that too, where we start to become mindful and just recognize that we're just here going through this world and trying to live the best life that we can live and helping and benefiting other people, we also need to take that position to try and quell something, lots of things, but one of them I was just thinking about was pride. So St. Augustine said that where other sins find their vent in the accomplishment of evil deeds, pride lies in wait of good deeds to destroy them. And in the book of Solomon, it says something along the lines of pride comes before a great fall. And so one of the reasons sometimes we have pride, it's ironically, it's because we're feeling not completely one with ourselves and where we're at in this world, and understanding that we're going to make mistakes, lots and lots of mistakes, and so is everybody else. And so if we can understand that we're human, we don't have to have pride. Pride is mostly kind of like an artificial, it's like an armor. It's like the way a knight or a soldier would wear a shield or an armor. That's fine in battle, but with pride, it's kind of like an artificial kind of armor. And maybe there might be, not necessarily being prideful, but maybe there's a time, like maybe there is some reason for why we're able to do that in our brains at times when we do need to shield ourselves from some sort of hurtful mental place. But it's better to try and understand that those moments are temporary, and that everybody is flawed around us, and that if we can be confident, not prideful, but just confident in who we are, and understand that we're all humans. We don't need to rely on some sort of artificial, hyped up version of who we are, that we can just enjoy this life, the goods, the bads, and all of it, and help other people, and do things like, instead of, trying to outdo somebody, there's times for competition and stuff, that's fine, but I mean, in like, generally speaking, we're trying to work with one another, and to better, when we do that, we're trying to better our lives and the other people's lives. So planning, and not being so prideful that we can't plan for something or help, instruct another person without trying to do it in a way that we're better than them, but that we're just trying to be, a good team, and taking and being able to and being able to take instructions, and ask. And if we're around people who don't want to act that way, then we need to be confident with ourselves to understand, well, that person, they're having some issues, and we don't need to take that as an insult against ourselves. We just need to recognize it for what it is, and maybe in some situations you can help that person overcome that kind of mentality that they have and let them just gain healthy confidence in themselves rather than having to be prideful. Or if it's obvious that they can't do that, they have some sort of problem that we need to step back and maybe step away from them, to put a healthy. We don't have, if they're important in our lives, we don't necessarily mean we have to abandon them completely, but we need to put up a healthy boundary between us and them. But if we're the ones with the pride problem, then we need to take care of it for ourselves. But it's better to take care of that as a practice of developing good, healthy sense of self first, so that we don't really develop those problems over the long haul. So just like you work on your eyes and you work on your hearing, like in music, you work on your hearing. So that's true, and you can develop your hearing for something like music. Everything about us, and us also all comes from the mind and the brain. So it all ties together. But developing also this idea of presence and and whatnot. So, and nature is a good part of that. Nature is a good part of bringing ourselves into the present, because this is the most natural state of the planet, is just being around fresh air and the outdoors and sunlight. These are all the things that we were most healthy for our bodies. Now, of course, the outside can be overwhelming and dangerous too. You don't want to get caught in a hurricane or a blizzard or whatever without being prepared. So, but generally, just a good sunlight, fresh air, exercise, good food. The food is so important. All these things that all interconnect. They're not separated. Food affects our minds. It affects our eyes. It affects our muscles. All of those things, and all those things will then come back to also affecting the way that we deal with things like pride. Believe it or not, if you have a good, healthy body and mind, you can analyze and correct yourself a lot better than you can if you've gotten disconnected from things mentally and physically. Because it takes energy to build the mind, to reflect, and to do all those things. I love you. Enjoy your life, and you are you. You are you, and it's your life. So don't let other people feel that you are, or make you feel that you are, you belong to them or something in a way that's not in a healthy way. It's the family's friends. You belong to family and friends, but in a sense of like a wolf pack, or like a pod of whales, or like in a bigger sense, our connection through God and the spirit that connects all of humanity and also all of life on earth. We belong in that way to one another, but in a healthy, mutual way, not in like a master slave type way. So I love you.